welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Charlie and I make videos about design. This video in particular is going to be a very design nerd video. We're going to talk about font organization. I think it was in my 15-minute poster challenge video. You guys saw a little bit of a glimpse of how I organize my fonts, and a few people asked in the comments for a video explaining their organization system and getting some tips on that. And so that's what this is. Should be pretty quick because there's not all that much to show, but hopefully it'll be useful. Collecting fonts is a very designer thing to do. We like to gather fonts that we see online to use in our projects, and I'm always downloading a font even if I don't, have a specific project for it yet. I like having it there so it's an option when I come to my next one. And that means that you need a good solid organization system in place so that when you do start a new project, you know where to find all these fonts, or just have them organized in a way that makes it easy to scan through them and look for inspiration when you're deciding what font to use. I have my laptop here and I'm going to show you around FontBook, which is the built-in Apple app that I use to organize my fonts. There's other ones you can get and use instead if you prefer, but honestly, this one works absolutely fine for me. So this is what I'll show you today. So this is FontBook. When you open it for the first time, it'll come with a few folders. So it'll have this all fonts, which has all your fonts in it. It'll have computer fonts that are the ones that come pre-installed on your computer. And then it'll have user, which is all the fonts that you have added to your font book. I don't really touch the smart collection section, but what I do use a lot is the collections that you can set up yourself. So as you can see here, I've got quite a few, and I arrange my fonts in two different ways. First of all, I'll arrange them by the foundry that I got them from. There's a couple of sites that I talked about in my top 3 resources for fonts video, something like that. It'll be linked on a card anyway. But there's a few sites that I always head to as my first port of call when I'm looking to download a new font. And I have 2 of them set up in here. So I've got the Designer's Foundry and I've got Vintage Type Co. So this is a folder that I made myself just by pushing the little plus button down here. And then I drag the fonts into it. So whenever I download a new font from one of these foundries, I will drag it into this folder. So that's one way to keep it organized. If you've got certain sites that you always download fonts from, make a collection for it and put them all in there. Organizing them like this is a really good way to remind yourself of the rights of the fonts you use as well. If you get them from dafont.com, for example, a lot of those fonts are only free for personal use. And so, yeah, putting them in that folder will just remind you to check before you go ahead and use it in a project. Anyway, the next set of collections that I have all describe the font itself. So this is what I tend to mostly reach for because I know when I'm working on a project, for example, that I want a sans serif font to use for the body for this one. So then I can simply just head to my sans serif folder, and from there I can pick from my preferred sans serif fonts. There are obviously way more sans serif fonts than this on my computer because a lot of them do come installed, but these are the ones that I personally prefer to use and like to reach for in my projects, and so that's why I've arranged them in this way. Arranging fonts like this makes it really easy to quickly scan for inspiration, rather than scanning through this whole list here of a million different fonts. That's an exaggeration, but you know what I mean. Or even just looking through the drop-down menu in Illustrator or Photoshop or whatever you're using. It's so much easier just to scan a list of fonts that are the exact type of font that you're looking for. Whenever I, for example, start my weekly vlogs and I want to do the titles for them, I generally use a script font for the day, and so I might just come in here and use my arrow key to just go down through the folder and see what I've got to work with. Let's just quickly run through my folders. They're all pretty self-explanatory. There's Condensed, which is like condensed typefaces, obviously. Decorative, which has more fonts that I would only use on very rare circumstances. So like this one here has all these shaded bits on it. Display sans serif, which are ones that generally wouldn't be useful for body copy. So this one here, for example, is quite thick, and I probably wouldn't want to type like a paragraph in it, but it could look nice for a heading. Display serif, same thing, but with serif fonts. Google fonts, oh, actually, this one should have an underscore behind it. Let's add that. So those are fonts that I've downloaded from Google's font library to use in web projects. Retro, ones that have a bit of an old-timey vibe that I've used for a project in particular. Sans serif, my script fonts. My serif fonts, these are the serifs that would be suitable to use as body copy. And then theme, which is just ones that I would use on very, very rare occasions if I was going for like a certain like Western theme for this one, or like something digital using it on a clock face or something. So whenever I install a new font, I just put it into whatever relevant category it has. I'll just quickly show you how easy it is to put a font in one of these folders. You simply select it. Usually I go to my user tab here because I know that I'm the one who's installed it. You can use the search bar to find it as well. This is a new one that I got from Vintage Typeco, so I'm going to drag that into here, and now it's in there. And I'm also going to put it in my script folder. Then if I go in, you can see it's in this place, and it's also in the scripts. So it's really easy to do. It's just a case of remembering to drag it into the right folder after you install. But it's worth putting the effort in because it is going to make working on projects much easier when you can easily scan a list of the types of fonts that you're looking for. So that is how I organize my fonts. Thank you for watching this video. I hope it was useful. I know it seems very, very simple, and it is very simple, but it's a good thing to get in the habit of, because as your font collection grows and you collect more and more, things will get a little bit messy if you don't start organizing it from the beginning. So keep that in mind and go organize your fonts, I guess. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and make sure you hit subscribe if you're new to my channel. I want to tell you that recently I launched a line of screen printed posters in my online store, which I'm very excited about. They're all designs that I've created and then printed myself, hand screen printed onto paper to make posters to hang on your wall. And I think they're pretty cool. I think you'll like them, so go check them out if you haven't seen them already. I purposefully don't put ads on these videos because I don't want you to have any interruptions when you start watching one and want to be learning. I don't want you to be watching an ad instead. So buying a poster would be a great way to support my channel if you enjoy it, but if not, that is absolutely fine too. I'd really appreciate the thumbs up. And let me know about your font organization situation down below in the comments as well. Maybe you've got some mess to confess, that didn't mean to rhyme, or maybe you've got some other suggestions of ways that I could organize my fonts that you might want to share. So leave that down below and let's have a chat. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.